Who knows? Doraemon just flying around and running away from nothing because we can't show dinosaurs.
No?
No, not really. I was just saying maybe, but maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
Oh, I thought creationists were saying like dinosaurs were around 6,000 years ago. It's okay, it's cool.
Just yeah, Doraemon just. Oh no, we're back in the distant 500 years ago.
Yeah.
Dubbing over his lines.
Well, no, distant 6,000 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what
The
all
Earth
started.
is 6,000 years old.
Yeah, I think I think allegedly the voice of SpongeBob is going to voice Doraemon. I'm not sure about that though.
That could work out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of SpongeBob, but Tom Kenny has an excellent catalog of work.
Yep. So now, remember, if anyone has any extra questions in the chat, Toast says, and yeah, Naruto Lee accidentally gets drunk at one point, but in the show, he accidentally took my medicine. He gets loopy when he takes my medicine and fights loopy style.
Yeah, exactly.
I see Jason's even talking about, yep. That was, Legend of the Drunken Master, Legend of the Loopy Master, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there a...
There's a lot of those. Oh my gosh, yeah. And older anime too, or older manga and stuff, they use language where they're totally not allowed anymore. You know, like old cartoons talking about the A bomb and stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, I remember, I don't know if you've ever seen the horrible cut of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind where they changed it to Warriors of the Wind back in the day. It was, this was before, like, anime became a big thing in America, and they figured, oh, kids wouldn't like this, kids wouldn't like this Studio Ghibli crap, that's weird, and so they changed it to Warriors of the Wind and, like, completely recut it to be, like, nothing but like action-y, and like Nausicaa I think is supposed to be like the princess who's supposed to be rescued all the time or something like that. It's the most bizarrely stupid thing ever. It's pretty...
don't. Oh no.
Yeah,
this is a movie about female empowerment.
Yeah, it's pretty old cut of it, but of course when Disney took over they were told specifically no cuts, so we got an actual version translated it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ghibli's been so crap the last several years, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, how am I spending my time these days, huh?
You don't...
Playmaster is just asking, Nob, how you spending your time these days?
Control it without a sensor.
Without a sensor. Leisurely? No. Just working. Working and going hiking with my dog and the wife and that, I guess, yeah. Just like living like a country squire.
I got booted from the chat.
You got booted from the chat? Why?
I can't see the chat anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
So if you, like I said, you can stay as long as you want. If you ever get tired, please don't be afraid to tell me, like, Lindsay, could you, like, shut the hell up so I can go to bed or anything like that.
No, it's fine, but I mean,
Yeah.
Are people bored of this already? I mean, yeah, just, rapping old guy just rambling away here.
They're hanging off your every word, aren't they, Chase?
You do what? Yes.
See, yes. Chase knows what we're talking about.
Okay, is there a
Christopher Nob, is there a specific word or phrase you like in Japanese, and if so, what does it mean?
Mendokusai, which is like, wow, what a pain in the ass. I think
it's good for translation.
Yeah, I think Shikamaru says that in Naruto a lot, though. So yeah.
There's a Wiimote out there.
See, everyone's like, oh,
There's
I like
couple
Nob
Wiimotes
stories.
out there,
See?
yeah. There we go. I'm back. Sorry.
Misty Rocks asks, if you could go back and change one line, which would you change?
In Pokemon or just anything in general?
I'm guessing just anything in general.
Oh, if it's like if it's anything, it'd probably just take back the words, "Will you marry me?"
Oh wow! Waka.
No. My wife's not listening. Actually, it's my anniversary today. How about that?
It's your anniversary day.
Not very timely, but In Pokemon, if I had to change, oh god, there's a lot of things I probably just, if you pointed out, how about this line? I'd probably go, oh, that's a horrible line. I want to change that. There's a lot of that stuff, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I can know that.
But there is one line I really, really liked at Pokemon that nobody ever really seemed to catch on and bug me about.
Oh, really?
And that was the sign outside the cycle shop.
Oh, yeah?
The world is a psychopath. And nobody called me out on it.
The world is a psychopath. Well, Karamik likes it. Why doesn't he?
Nobody ever called me out on that. Nobody seemed to notice. I mean,
I am so sad that I did not notice that when I was doing my yellow playthrough for the stream a couple weeks ago.
Go back and go to that just to stream that before doing your next game.
Yeah, I think that's how we're going to start my next Saturday stream.
Didn't I write that? It's a sign right outside the shop, right? Or it's a poster.
Yeah, it is,
shop.
yeah. You're
right.
Actually,
the world is a psychopath, and nobody... I saw, holy cow, somebody's going to catch us, and somebody's going to be in hell of a place. But nobody said nothing.
Some of the members of the chat are freaking out about that extreme zoom in of Litleo.
Someone in the chat, sorry that it scrolled up, I cannot see the name of who asked this, but it was a pretty good question. In Ruby and Sapphire, in certain caves to catch these legendary Pokemon, there's Braille on the wall, and you have to read it to figure out what to do next. Was the Braille actually in Japanese in the Japanese version, or?
Yes, it was in Japanese, the Japanese version, and then we actually translated the Braille into English. And we got, it was a pain in the ass to do, man.
Oh, yeah.
We had to figure. Somebody had to actually go get Braille charts and figure out how to type and translate the whole thing. And we got a commendation from some National Institute of the Blind. some.
Oh yeah, that's in the credits. Yeah, it is.
For the visually impaired, and they gave commendation, for using Braille and bringing Braille to the to the public's awareness. Mm-hmm. Of course, the ironic part is these guys can't play it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's Braille in there, and it's on a flat screen. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Was it the same? Like the things that you put in there? Was it the same actual words as in the Japanese one? Because I know that obviously Japanese is much more efficient. You can say more with fewer characters. So did you actually have? Did you actually have to change what English stuff was?
I believe we were consistent with that. If what it said in the Japanese, I was pretty diligent about turning that into English. I did a lot of stuff like they even put haikus in some of the battle lines.
Oh, did they?
Like I'd read it and I'd go, God, this rhythm, the way this guy talks is weird. What is this? And I looked at it and go, oh, damn, it's 5 syllables, 7 syllables, 5. It's haikus. These guys talking haikus, so I translated into haikus, man. I don't think anybody ever noticed.
I think actually I do remember seeing some of those where it was the haiku in there. I know that Mother 3 has a really weird one that the people translated where they actually does a haiku, but like under certain conditions, I guess you can add or subtract syllables or whatever. And it's in there in the original, and then translated one also says like in parentheses has extra syllables or something in there. And at the time I was like, is that a gag or is that?
Yeah, that's not me, but yeah. But I was actually translating haikus and stuff. And I was pretty diligent about that sort of stuff, even if people didn't notice. Because it was a challenge, right? Mm-hmm. For instance, like there were puns in that game that people probably didn't even notice.
Well,
in Generation 4, there was that Gen 4 where there was an old chateau?
Yep, that was Gen 4. Yep.
Okay, all right. So the old chateau was called a certain thing in Japanese. It was called a certain thing. And then in the chateau, you found an item.
Mm-hmm.
In Japanese, the chateau and the item were named the same thing. They sounded the same. written differently, but in Japanese, it was just word for word. It was letter for letter. It was identical in the chateau name, the item name.
Mm-hmm.
NOA wanted to translate it just like red bean cake. Old chateau, and I looked at it and go, no. I can do this. Let me do this. Let me fix this. I will get this sucker right. The old chateau. What the hell does he? Oh, old gâteau. There we go. Old gâteau will work. Old cake. Yeah, old gâteau in the old chateau. And I was so proud of that.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Did anyone even notice?
I noticed, actually, when I was like, oh, the old chateau, and I get old gâteau.
Okay, all right, good.
I got you.
Okay, thank you.
You
It
see?
made
Yeah,
it all.
no,
It made it all worthwhile.
You know, I actually did, like, in my notes were the questions that I was, to ask. I actually wrote down specifically old gâteau because I wanted to ask him about it. So,
Yeah, that was. Now I'm gonna take. That's mine. I was like, red bee cake is no. I'm not putting that into my game. I couldn't stop Rage Candy Bar, but I will stop red bean cake.
It avenged the cake of rage. Old gâteau.
Rage Candy Bar was like, what was the other one? Something cookies, right? Lava cookies.
Oh, lava cookies, yeah.
Yeah, lava cookies were like, I think I said that we could do lava cookies, and they were like, oh, okay, that's good. But Rage Candy Bar, why?
Yeah, and the fact that there wasn't enough space to put any spaces between it made it all one word in the first game.
Yeah,
Rage Candy Bar.
It just Rage Candy.
Yeah.
Why can't it just be Rage Chocolate, Rage Choco, anything but Rage Candy Bar? But anyway, and the whole idea of making everything all capital used to drive me bananas.
Yeah.
Why? It felt like it was condescending to the kids, to the players. Look, everything in all capitals. This is an important word. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
5-year-olds could figure out they're being talked down to.
Yeah.
Huh? I thought it was treated fair. I thought it was a terrible thing because it treated our fans as a bunch of dummies, and you're not. You guys are Michael Vicks. So
dummies, you're monsters.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys are monsters, but you're not dumb monsters.
Oh, thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
No, but seriously, I'm just it was so wrong that it was all caps.
Yeah.
I guess it took to Generation 4 to fix that?
I think it was 5 actually where they started doing that. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, they were like, man, Nob's gone. Let's implement this thing he's been pushing.
Yeah, well, I think that's when Pokemon Company USA really took over completely, and they put their foot down, and they put their foot down about getting your text faster from Game Freak as well. They were a lot more hardball in dealing with Game Freak. I guess Game Freak wouldn't listen to me.
Yeah, I've heard you gotten into some slap fights with them every once in a while when you.
No slap, not with Game Freak. Hell,
not with Game Freak.
No, I just I'd yell and scream at my NOA guy, but not.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Handler.
In fact, like I said, I'd never met Game Freak until Gen 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I started translating Gen 4 in about middle of September. Mm-hmm. And I finished in about the middle of December.
Jeez.
And in the middle of December, I got a call from NOA. They go, hey, Game Freak wants to come over and talk to you. And I go, I just finished translating Gen 4. And they go, well, they want to fill you in on the background, and they want to give you flesh out, so you understand the worldview of Pokemon a little bit. I'm just like, I just finished Gen 4. Why the hell do you want to tell me this now?
What do you people want?
What do you want? I'm already burnt out. I want to just die right now. But no, so you want me to drive down to Seattle and talk to Game Freak. Okay, cool, I will do that. So, I was getting ready to drive down to Seattle. That was when the Seattle ice storm happened.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, I made it down to the border.
Mm-hmm.
This side of the border, and the Canadian side, the highway was cleared. As soon as we crossed over the border, the road was like 2 inches of ice. It was dangerous.
Yeah.
So I just turned around, went back home, phoned Nintendo. No can do. It's too freaking dangerous. I'm not going to make it to your meeting. We could talk. Let's do a teleconference.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. And that's when I laid into Game Freak about Diamond Pearl. I didn't really lay into him, but I told him I didn't understand what motivated Team Galactic.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
Cyrus's motivation. Yeah, I admit Cyrus's motivation is kind of bizarre.
It's bizarre, especially in Diamond and Pearl, because the whole Pokemon, bad guy thing is pretty easy to understand progression-wise. Team Rocket is easy. They're just Team Mob. For Gold and Silver, it's the same thing. Just a mob. It's just Team Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Team Aqua, and then Gen 3. Those guys they're fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
Their plans are incredibly stupid, but at least you know what they're trying to do.
Well, they meant good.
Yeah.
They thought they were doing good.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
We're doing good here. We're making more land, we're making more oceans with more resources and stuff. And they were all both sides were really, they weren't bad people. They were just fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays fanatics are terrorists. But anyway, so Gen 4, Cyrus. No, I didn't understand why anyone be interested in following Cyrus. All he did was, show up and started bitching you out over something, and then he goes away, and you just like mutter. He's just some jerk off of an old guy, and even his underlings didn't really understand him.
Mm-hmm.
Why would his underlings follow a guy that was just totally crazy? Even one of his sub-leaders said, Cyrus is he's very cruel, he's very cold. So why would... I didn't understand what's Team Galactic's motivation? What makes the grunts move?
Yeah.
So I said, I don't understand what Cyrus's motive. Why is Cyrus so attractive to these people? And that's why Game Freak rewrote Platinum to flesh out Cyrus's part, to do that Nuremberg rally thing, to make it sound like I told him Cyrus has to sound reasonable at first, so people will believe his lie. Mm-hmm. He promised a better world. He promised a new world to them, a new utopia. That didn't include them, but he didn't say that, right? And so that's why I think Platinum was much more well-rounded a story, or at least made a little bit more sense anyway.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. Like the parts that they added to it actually kind of made it, because in Diamond and Pearl, like you said, it's kind of weird because Cyrus's plan is strange anyway.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. Why would anyone listen to that craziness?
Yeah. So in Platinum, they actually do, like you said, they explain why someone would even bother following.
Yeah, it had. We needed that. We needed that Hitler's rally scene.
Yeah.
To make it seem like that's why he's really a charismatic leader. Otherwise, it's just he was just some old, weird, freaky Professor Oak looking guy that comes up.
I would always follow that. Do you think that maybe that since you play Black and White, do you think maybe that's also helped influence the Team Plasma of Black and White? Because their whole thing is very much about them explaining, like, no, we are doing the right thing. We're gonna take Pokemon, we're gonna free them, and we're doing this for our king and that sort of thing. Do you think that your talk with them influenced?
Oh yeah.
That was me.
X and Y story asked me. No, I can't. I have no idea. What the copywriter's thinking. I just know. I helped change Platinum, and that's all I take credit for. That's all I'm good for on that one.
Did you Do you feel particularly have any particular sentimental value for Platinum because of that, since you affected the story?
Yeah, that, and I knew I was gone by
Mm-hmm.
then. I knew I was finished with Pokemon by that. That was the last. That was my last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
So there, Platinum really, really. For me, the story of Platinum really came together as a whole. It had adventure. It had farewells as well. It had a
Mm-hmm.
sense of there was a sense of completeness about Platinum.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of there's a lot of adventure, there's a lot of fun, but there's also a sense of sadness
Mm-hmm.
about that game,
Mm-hmm.
about changes. And Looker was the character I used to say my farewell with.
Mm-hmm.
And that when he departs from the game, that's it. You don't see him again.
Yeah.
And his farewell parting words is, "My job is done,"
Mm-hmm.
and that was mine.
Oh. Well, yeah.
So
I mean,
confirmed, Nob is the doctor.
right. Nob is Looker in another reality. Um, well, like in a sense, I mean, there was kind of the end of an era, because with Black and White they basically branded that as a reboot of the franchise.
Yeah, that's
essentially.
what it felt.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Nina's linking to the list of games that you translated. Apparently, it's on Bulbapedia.
You have your own entry on Bulbapedia,
Yeah, you do.
No,
which you had before the interview. So can't say that we're like super influential here.
No,
We did that.
I know.
Yeah, it was our doing. Okay.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, we totally told Mr. Bulbagarden to fix that.
We did that.
I'm not, I do have vanity, so I do, Google my name every so often. Just, okay.
Could be another Nob, you don't know. Although, I will say, as far as, like, in contrast to the main series games, with, like, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, was there any, particular challenges translating that game? Because I know that it's kind of a different perspective. It's from the Pokemon's perspective rather than people, and the story is very different from the,
Yeah, the Mystery Dungeon titles they were the most fun things ever to write.
Oh, really?
Oh, hell yeah, I got to actually, write from my own perspective, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you're speaking the characters were speaking in first person.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, God, they had so much text, Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, they do, yep.
Yeah, and the amount of deadline time was just like crazy again. So I ended up, it was hard getting everything done on time. And Mystery Dungeon also has a whole bunch of hyperlinks inside. Every time there's a status, like, this move inflicts a burn, and then you can click on burn, and then there'd be, jump to open a new page with its description. All those hyperlinks had to be embedded. It was crazy. But it was fun. I really like Mystery Dungeon games. I mean, 70 days I worked on Mystery Dungeon 2.
Oh, really? Only 70 days. Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I was working 14-hour days for those. And but when I wrote the last, when the hero Pokemon dies and goes to heaven, and his buddy Pokemon cries his ass off, man, I was crying my ass off when I was writing that.
I remember that scene. I was just like, wow, this is intense for a
Pokemon. It was really sad, because I'd lived with these characters for 2 months every day. Went on adventures with them, and laughed and cried with these guys, and then it was pretty heartbreaking. It was, and if you can write stuff like that, man, that is just, it makes everything worthwhile as a writer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was, it's, even I was playing it, it was just like, even, people sometimes, and with good cause, criticize, like, the writing in games and stuff like that, but, for what it is, Mystery Dungeon being, like, a kid's story and that sort of thing, like, a scene like that is pretty comparable to, a classic animated movie. It's not just, like, blatantly cheesy, like, oh no, my friend's hurt. Now I'm upset. It was actually like a pretty touching scene. It was pretty
Yeah, I
moving.
saw. I saw it. I thought the Mystery Dungeon games were especially well written.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the guy, he's the guy that went with from Chunsoft to do those adventure games as well, like
Really?
48 and Machi and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about good writer to begin with. So yeah, not some hack like me.
Well, I think he did a pretty good job preserving the emotion and the characterization in that scene, because I can see right now in the chat a lot of people are saying that scene makes me cry still. Like a bunch of people are saying.
Right on. Good. It makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, there's terrible garbage like Pokemon Channel.
Pokemon Channel, yeah. I didn't play that, but I've seen videos, and it's just
Yeah, it's atrocious. It's just Umbrella should have stuck to making T-viruses.
Yeah, and Hey You Pikachu, which I had not seen videos of until.
Yeah, I didn't do Hey You Pikachu.
That's not me, you guys.
It's not me. You can't hang. I wish I would have done Snap, but I didn't do that one either. Yeah.
One moment ago, there we go.
Someone sent me Looker's last line in Platinum, which it makes a lot more sense now, having heard that was your exit. The final line is, "I also will take my leave. The more wonderful the meeting, the sadder the parting." That is a quote I heard many years ago in a foreign land. Its meaning, I understand it better now. Farewell, my friend. Long may you cherish Pokemon.
Oh, a tear.
Damn.
I am amazing.
That's a fucking wrap.
I wish that was actually what Looker said at the end. My mission is done. That's a fucking wrap.
That's it. Roll credits.
And he points to the camera. Yeah, I mean, like that's pretty. I mean, that's a great line. That's a great interpretation of what he said in the original too. It's written very well.
Pretty much what he said, but I got and I thought, oh man, they wrote this text for me to write. Holy cow. So I got a little misty doing that, and just okay, all right. Like I said, I had given over a dozen years of my life to that by then.
It's part of history. Oh no! Now everyone in the chat is applauding for you. You're lying.
Yeah,
let's see. Oh, someone does come up with an interesting point. Mod God says, well, first off, I guess I should ask, did you do the Coliseum and XD games? The GameCube ones where you upload your Pokemon and
I did those, yeah.
You did those. Someone does bring up the good point that practically everyone in that game has a very bizarre name. Did they make you give them weird names, or no? Wasn't you?
No, not me. That was NOA guy. So Mirror B and stuff like that.
Mirror B. I remember. What was it like? I think one of my favorite ones, like, because I used to play that game when I was in animation school, and so I played about because I'd get home incredibly late, and I played until maybe 3 in the morning or something, and it would be stuff like, "Fun old man Gert wants to fight." Fun old man Gert. Oh man, that fun old man Gert.
And like that little Jovi kid, I want to kill her.
Oh yeah, she would get in the way, like you can't walk through her. She would corner you and stuff, and you're looking around. Yeah.
But
it's not the part
those games
fun
had
old man.
Those games had their weird charms too, wasn't there a weird doctor who invented weird useless stuff? That was fun to write.
Oh yeah, that was yeah. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
But
there's little victories here and there for like the radio and Gold and Silver. God, that was fun to write.
Oh yeah, the radio is definitely. That's
that was hard too, though, because again, that was one sentence. They just grab random sentence, and you just join them together. So I had to piece together sentences that work together.
Yeah.
It was pretty challenging, but it was fun.
Yeah, it works out really well. Like, I mean, it's the randomly generated text on there, it fits. Like no matter what combination you get, it doesn't sound weird. It just sounds like an actual conversation, like a radio
Yeah,
conversation.
like on a radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the sort of thing that that makes me proud. Like for me, the biggest thing is to be not noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than somebody going, "Oh, God, that's bad translation." You just read the damn thing and
Mm-hmm.
go catch Pokemon. Cool. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing with like stuff like an animation where it's like you notice bad animation, you don't really notice the good animation, and that's kind of the point. Is that
yes, sound design is a lot like that. If you balance the music and the sound effects right, nobody ever notices what you've done or applauds you for it.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Just like I shouldn't be on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be part of the stage at all. I should be behind the scenes, completely unseen. That's what the translator's role is.
Mm-hmm.
God. So when the shorts line came up and it became, it's just like, oh geez, don't notice this now. Forget it.
That's too bad. But now that you'd mentioned like what the kid originally says, it makes a lot more sense. But still, at the same time, like I can imagine a little kid actually walking up to someone and just saying, "I like shorts." Good for you. Let's fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why not?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that has happened in real life. I like turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we're talking little kids, and this is again, a world. Well, what do you do in a world where you get to sick your pets on somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Talk to them afterwards about.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's kind of a weird place anyway. You might as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my dogs tore your dogs to pieces, but I like shorts.
If it's any consolation, shorts are amazing.
Yeah, just in the bizarro world of Pokemon. Try not to think too hard about it, kids.
Was there you did the Ranger games as well? Is that
yes.
right? Was there anything particularly unusual or challenging for doing the Ranger games, or is that pretty?
Oh God, were they ever wordy?
Oh dear.
They are wordy as hell. They're not bad games. I like Ranger. Ranger 2 is especially a lot more refined and fun.
Mm-hmm.
But God, those people talk.
There is a lot of talking.
And they're not very interesting talkers. It was bizarre. It was like as if they hired the people that wrote the Golden Sun series.
Oh, was that who wrote it? The Golden Sun?
No, they weren't.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute, that would explain a few things.
It was that level of wordiness, like, holy cow, shut the hell up. But okay, all right, and that's what you want. Yeah. But the Ranger games were like they were okay games. Ranger 2 was. Well, once you figure out that Ranger 2 bosses can be frozen with ice Pokemon moves, that was it. Though, it's just push over.
Yeah, I didn't play the first one, but I did play the second one, and yeah, I mean, like you said, there is a lot of talking. There's action, but people do have to give you exposition for it for quite some time for you.
Oh yeah, talking about how the school is set up and blah blah blah, and then here comes this Murph and his stupid Murph problems, and yeah. No, Ranger is like is a mediocre game that they tried to stretch out.
Okay.
With fun dialogue or something. Doesn't work, guys. But I get paid by the word. Thank you.
That's fine by me. Do whatever you want, guys. Was there were there any of the other side games that you had worked on? You did the Coliseum. Did you do the stadium games in addition to the Coliseum games?
I did those. I did Stadium. Doing that Stadium 2 that had the huge explanation tutorial text.
That had I was about to ask the big the Pokemon school thing where it's just
that was pretty crazy. That was a lot of text again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did those, and then what else did I do? I can't remember those Pokemon. Oh, and then that Pokemon channel was like the terriblest thing ever. And geez, I don't know. That's a lot of Pokemon games. Oh, I did.
Yeah, it is.
I remembered another game though. Like I did. Does anyone remember Robot Alchemic Drive for PlayStation?
Ooh, maybe I didn't play it, but
Yeah.
Robot Alchemic Drives. Anybody? There's got to be someone. I bet you anything.
Cosmoid, if anyone.
I'll
bet you. I think I've seen him stream it.
Did he?
Yeah, rad. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Robot Alchemic Drive. Rad. I named that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, Enix USA, George couldn't figure it out. What the hell should I call it? Robot Alchemic Drive sounds kind of stupid. And I just go, well, Robot Alchemic. That's rad, man. It's rad.
Rad.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's rad. Okay, let's go rad.
Oh, TSS Killer owns it and likes it.
Ooh.
For some reason.
TSS Killer from PocketMonsters.net is in the chat.
Yep.
Says, I own it and I like the game. See, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Okay, right. Yeah, that was rad. Was fun because this is Enix USA talking, so we had no money at all. I'm serious, the guy. And he goes, well, okay, we just want you to do a direct translation. So that's why I said it sounds like a bad Godzilla movie. And they hired a whole bunch of amateurs to do the voice acting.
Nice.
For that authentic, terrible Japanese monster movie sound. Raz was such a great memory. I think we only made like 100,000 copies of that, though.
Oh, really? I should ask the SDA guys to run that, too. That seems like that would be pretty good cutscene percent. I'm for it. He says, Robot Alchemic Drive is rad. Nob Ogasawara 2014.
Yeah. I love the bait and switch that. Anybody remember this game? Yeah, I hated it.
There's a bunch like that. I mean, holy cow. Yu-Gi-Oh games. Why do people buy Yu-Gi-Oh games? No, bad.
Yeah, I admit I'm not.
Why would you put your money on a Yu-Gi-Oh game? Are you guys retarded?
You guys getting called out here.
I did.
Some people in the chat were wondering, so for a bunch of stuff that's like the stuff that was on caps, you didn't have any control over, but the Pokemon descriptions themselves in the Pokedex, was that you? Like the actual flavor?
Well, it's translated by me. Yeah.
Was that all of it was you? I mean, I know we talked about we copied and pasted it into X and Y and stuff, but
yeah.
Was it? So did you just do the flavor text on there, and then like did someone else like do the conversion for like the height and the weight and stuff, or did they ask you to do that too?
Oh, the height and weight thing was that was a real pain in the ass, but I actually did that.
Oh, you didn't see?
I did everything, man.
Except for calling it a hermit crab and a shellfish.
If it's in the game, I probably had a hand in it somehow. But stuff like I said, like all cap stuff, it's variable stuff that I didn't have any hand in. But yeah, changing heights, inches, and centimeters, it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, man.
Why are you Americans not on the metric system?
Dude, no, every few years we're just like, seriously, this year we're gonna convert. Never mind.
Yeah, you guys got to do this. It's retarded. There's only like 3 countries on the planet that's not on the metric system.
You're on top of things.
You're alongside, somewhere like some stupid little banana boat country in Africa, North Korea. Even North Korea's on the metric system. Yeah, we're stronger.
See, I'd thought they'd have measured everything by scale to Kim Jong-un. This is 0.7 Kim Jong-un's tall.
They should, actually. Yeah, I remember when I was living in Vancouver, that was one of the big changes, was that I had to at least figure out approximately Celsius for how hot it was outside, because I remember once I was talking to some people, just some of the international students, and we were all talking about what the weather was like in our home countries and stuff, and I said, oh yeah, back home, in summer it gets to be like 101 degrees, and the guy from Peru was like, what? I was like, Fahrenheit. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It's like, well, you probably, when you're driving in Vancouver, you're probably lead footing it too. Oh, yeah, speed limit's 50.
Yeah, but luckily I didn't have a car for very much that reason.
I took it away in a hurry, yeah.
I'm surprised the speed limit's so high. Why are all these cars going so slow? What's with the flashing lights?
Canadians are just so polite. They're slowing down to let me speed past them. It's fine. So, now people
all right.
talking about America. You getting tired?
I'm actually getting tired.
All right.
Well, so
all right. It's 11:30 over here, so we it's time for us to say goodbye. Everyone give Nob their love. Tell him bye bye. Oh look, Meow's sleeping too. He's gonna take a nap too while you're going to sleep.
Yeah. Give Meow some money. Wake him up. Come on, guys.
Wake him up. So
let's make it worthwhile. Party's over. Come on.
All right. So thank you so much again for this opportunity. This has been absolutely amazing. This was one of no bull crap. This is going to be probably one of my favorite memories in my life, getting to talk to you after playing these games for so long. We all love you here. Everyone who's in the room, there's not very many people, but all the people who are in the room,
we love you,
give love, clap, whoop whoop.
Okay. All right.
Clap, damn it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, bow. Thank you, sir. All right.
Yeah,
well, you have a nice night.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let's do it again.